We now go to the last presentation to be given by Mr. Omar Ouedraogo from the Fédération of Agricultural Professionals of Burkina Faso. And he will share with us his experience. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ambassador. I am pleased to share my experience with each and every one of you. Ouedraogo and Job seem to share the same culture, Ambassador. Anyway, I am going to talk about the FEPAB and its action in Burkina Faso. Well, we are up against a paradox. People keep saying that urban population in Africa is growing, whereas FEPAB, with some partners, is striving to increase production. But despite that, we can't find an outlet for our products. We can't market them. So we realized that there was a problem of quality, not quantity, but quality. That's why people weren't buying our products. So that's why we put in place a network of marketing and processing of maize. But let me just give you a brief background to the FEPAB. It's a network of 27 member unions, 6,131 groupings, and over 240,000 individual members, particularly in family plots and small holdings. We are involved in the production, processing, and marketing of maize in particular, and other cereals. We also process cowpea, which is eaten a lot in West Africa, and we also process non-wood forest products. We have the support of many partners, of course, the European Union and other NGOs, members of agricoles. Well, we try to improve the quality and the promotion of maize through the purchase and usage of post-harvest equipment, shellers, cleaners, and sacks. In other words, we eliminate the impurities from the maize, and we have calibrating instruments in order to determine the level of humidity in the maize. But apart from production, we also carry out artisanal and semi-industrial processing of maize into flour and meal. You see, it's mostly women and young people involved in this activity. We also process cowpea, as I said, and of course NWFP to protect natural resources. These are products which are consumed a lot in West Africa in particular. Now, how do we market our products? We use 3 distribution channels. There's a network of 49 shops with a capacity of more than 12,000 tons. And the primary channel involves retail sales. Consumers come to our shops and buy small quantities of products, but there's also a second channel relating to institutional sales. It means the state of Burkina Faso, which builds up its buffer stocks to ensure food security and safety. The UN also buys our products through the World Food Programme. And the third channel involves wholesale sales. That is through traders and large factories in Ouagadougou and the economic capital, Burkina Faso. You have huge mills and breweries which buy our products. And you will see that the private sector buys a lot of our products, followed by institutional sales, the state itself, and the World Food Programme. There are also processors who are not members of our union, but they buy from us. And then you have the individual consumers. So What lessons can be learned? We are seeing a gradual penetration of the urban markets previously dominated by imports, wheat, rice, pasta. So we are surviving in terms of contributing to food sovereignty. There's an increasingly secure market with the private sector. And I have said that consumers accept our products because there's an increase in quality. We earned more than 262 million CFA francs in 2015, so it is a profitable business, even though we are working in an informal sector. And as I said before, it's primarily young people and women working to process the maize. Now, this doesn't mean there are no difficulties. There are difficulties, but we try to tackle them with innovative local solutions and with a view to prospective partnerships. Now, the first major difficulty involves high cost of post-harvest equipment and processing units. Obviously, we want to move from small-scale processing to semi-industrial processing, but the costs are high. Well, what do? We pool the post-harvest teams and equipment. We put the equipment at the disposal of our union, which includes a lot of producers, and that means that we have economies of scale. So for the moment, we are dealing with small-scale producers, yes, but we want to move towards a semi-industrial component. The second difficulty involves marketing weaknesses. There are problems in terms of packaging, of course, and local sales. So we are experimenting with training in marketing, and we want to expand our marketing capacity. There is also a lack of financing for actions upstream and downstream of the chain. For the moment, we are using microfinance and many partners in terms of microfinance, but in the long term, we want to have discussions with commercial banks. And let me say here that the government of Burkina Faso, thanks to our advocacy, is in favor of the creation of an agricultural bank which is open to shareholding from farmers and which will finance farming activities. And farmers' associations have been mobilized to buy shares in the bank. There are problems, of course, related to storage infrastructures and poor state of road infrastructures. We keep storing our products in traditional granaries in the hope that traditional warehouses will be built. Despite all these difficulties, we still have a surplus, and that surplus has to be sold. That's why we are exploring the potential of the sub-regional market. Niger is extremely interested in our maize, in seed form as well as in processing. Ghana as well. You know that Ghana is a major producer, but Ghana wants maize from Burkina Faso because Burkina Faso, the maize in Burkina Faso does not have a high rate of humidity. Let me just show you a sample. I forgot it where I was sitting. I brought a sample of maize flour, corn flour. This maize was processed by FEPAB, and it is enriched with potash, and it is bought a lot by our consumers. Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen.
Merci, Président.
Thank you, Mr. Ouedraogo. We have just heard a presentation from my cousin, Ouedraogo, Traoré, and Diop. We all come from Egypt, and we all used to worship the sun god, Ra. But anyway, we have seen efforts made to give value to this system through FEPAB, which covers production and processing. We take note of the various partnerships relating to implementation of quality standards, better quality, and involvement of women and young people in artisanal production. You also highlighted the fact that there are two key areas, I repeat, women and young people who work in these areas and give added value to it. You also highlighted difficulties in terms of the cost of equipment and the lack of funding. So all this makes it possible for us to have an overall view of all the presentations. So the floor is now open as regards all the presentations made this afternoon. Thank you.